Hello guys, my name is Torian Aldrich, and today we're doing a psychoanalysis on Michael Jackson. Okay, and I'm excited. There's a few things that really stands out. Hopefully, you clicked on this video from the YouTube short, but a few things. One of them was like I mentioned in the YouTube short that got you here probably. He mentioned that he never had a childhood. Well, instead of him having toys, they changed it for a microphone, which means he been working since he was younger. He never experienced Christmas and stuff like that. Christmas, he did interviews for this stuff, so he said he never really enjoyed Christmas or about Christmas, birthdays, anything of those natures when he was younger because it was always work, work, work. And the craziest thing is he had money. He was very rich. He was very wealthy. Even at a young age, he was singing. He had all the females. He had all of that. But he never had. He never felt. He always mentioned in interviews he never felt true love. He never knew what someone intentions were when it was to come into have an affectionate love for him. He always felt again, these are just coming from interviews. He always felt no matter what he does, that someone always has an alternative motive. So with that being said, it's I think honestly, it's a slippery slope because we all want the fame, we all want the money, and then when the money and the fame comes, you get to realize that shit is useless. You never enjoy yourself with it. And even what you do enjoy, it doesn't fill the void. This just a little sneak peek, a little snippet into what the psychoanalysis is. That's going to be a little after this, but it's probably going to be no. I can attach this. Yeah, I can attach this video. So click down below. So Michael Jackson, Neverland. That was meant to be a place where kids can enjoy and have fun. But all these speculations started coming out, and all these things, accusations. I don't know if it was true. But I don't want to know if it was true because it's not none of my business. But Neverland was built to fill the void of his childhood from inside, and with that, it's like I said, he had all this money, so the money was meant to fill the void, and the money was meant to fill the void. The Neverland was meant to fill the void, and all these other activities he did to fill the void. This man even had a monkey. He had animals and all this other stuff. Tigers, amusement park. Neverland was literally an amusement park inside of a house. He did all these things to fill a void. But the truth is, money and love. We always say, oh, if I had this amount of money, I'd be happy. Or if I had this amount of money, I'd be successful. If I had this amount of money, I'd be grateful. I'd be doing all this. But if we look at the past, all these celebrities with all this money, they never really been happy. And we can strongly assume that Michael Jackson was not happy. He was not happy. He was not happy at all. But I'm going to get into that in a little bit, and I hope you guys can click on. And I'll just, matter of fact, I think people learn better with their personal connections. In my case, I have less paralysis, or I tell the story all the time. I got hit by a car when I was 13, so I never had that teenage that childhood, those parties, all this other stuff, right? Barely even had a prom because COVID came, and then I didn't want to go to my junior prom, so I went to my senior prom. And that was my only prom I was able to go to. My junior prom, it was just too much fun. I didn't want to go to that one. But I'll bring this back in, if MJ having all this stuff, I have a disability. I have a left side paralysis, and it's kind of hard. It's not even gonna lie. It is kind of hard to I guess you can say find that one or the love, whatever, right? Because are you really hanging out with me out of pity, or are you hanging out with me because you want to hang out with me? And it's kind of weird because you never really truly know someone's intentions, but you always prepare for the worst. Of MJ, I don't know. Like I've been doing research for this guy for about a month now, and it's like his story is so sad because he was struggling, and like he kept giving out signs. He always told people like, "Hey, I need help. I want to do this." Then like when he was on the Oprah Winfrey show, he said something, but he wasn't joking. You can tell he wasn't joking. Well, you can tell it was meant to be a joke, but you can tell he wasn't joking if you look in his eyes. It was like it wasn't fun. And I didn't have any fun when I was younger. I never knew what it was to have fun. So, and then they started laughing because what you mean you never had fun? You had all this money, you had all these animals, you had all this stuff that outsiders deem as to being fun, but he was not enjoying this stuff because the void was never filled. Like, oh yeah, that's what I was going with it. Okay, so with me, for example, my mom died of breast cancer in 2019, right? And I graduated that May. That May, yeah, because yeah, no, June. We graduated in June. This is back in North Carolina. I went to school in North Carolina, but I graduated in June or whatever, right? And my mom died in October the 19th, bro. 2019, October 19, 2019. Inflammatory breast cancer. If you don't know what inflammatory breast cancer is, it's one of the rarest forms of breast cancer. Okay, buddies, it's like the rarest form of breast cancer, and it only comes when it comes in stage 4. So it was like it was an uphill battle from that, but she got through that. But it metastasized. Well, I'll just say it spread. That's basically what that word means. It spread it to her brain. So she was able to beat the breast cancer part, but when it goes to your brain, there's really nothing you can really do. So I think that's really part of my love life now. Like I don't want a mom because I was always taught to like I know how to cook, I know how to do all these things, I know how to take care of myself, pay my bills, and all these other stuff. Right? And I'm pretty cool with that. But it's like when it comes to finding stuff, finding things you love, like finding something you love, it's like I don't know what to do to fill that void. I mean, no one on this earth is ever gonna replace my mom, obviously. No one can ever come close to replace my mom, obviously. But it's like at the same time, it's like Mother's Day come around, and then Christmas and holidays and stuff. It's like, bro, what am I celebrating? Like, why am I happy? Like, yeah, perfect. I had a script for this, but I'm cooking right now, so I can't really go look at the script. But my mom died or whatever, and it's like, what am I celebrating for? Even to this day, I'm going to college basically fully free. I've been blessed to have scholarships out the windward, right? Federal presidential scholarships because of my academics, and then like other things I did on campus, just campus involvement really. But I had those scholarships, and I don't pay for classes. I never had to pay for books. I never had to pay for classes in these natures, right? So theoretically, I should be happy because I'm not spending any money on anything else. But like at the same time, it's like, what is it to be happy for? What is it to be happy of? I'm not happy. And sometimes between me and you guys, I don't know how many people want to see this. They might not, maybe, or may not, just scroll right through, whatever the case may be. But sometimes like I pray to not wake up. Like it's crazy, man. I pray to not wake up. And like yesterday, for the first time my college should have happened in 2014, 2015 area, right? So going on, 10 plus years, right? And for the first time, last night, I was able to touch each finger with my thumb. Since if you go through previous videos, I'm not able to use my left hand, but I was able to go like this without any pain and without being too tired. You know what that means? That means my hand is on the verge of coming back, but I'm not happy. Like I'm grateful per se, but I'm not really happy. And at the same time, it's like if that doesn't make me happy, that I'm gonna have my left hand back pretty soon. If that doesn't make me happy, what the hell would? And then I already had money. Like money doesn't really make happiness at all. Like I had enough money before that, like I had more money than people ever have in their life. Even seeing the commas in the bank account doesn't really make you happy, and like it sucks. It sucks because we are always taught that, like, work hard, be happy, you get a job, have the kids, have the family, and all this other stuff. Like you'll be grateful, but you will never, like, some people, you're not happy. Like that's done. Oh well, like it is what it is, and at the same time it sucks. It sucks because why am I doing all this? And then when I get to completion, I'm just like, oh, that's it. That's kind of what it feels like. Oh, that's it. Like if you look my name up, Torian Aldrich, it's like before I got hurt, whatever, I was on track to be like one of the top chess players ever. Well, not ever, because I'll never be like a Magnus Carlsen or anything of that nature. I don't spend enough time studying. I don't even care no more. I just play in my free time. But if you look me up, the first thing that will pop up is chess, because I was very good at it. I was very well inducted. I used to study all the time. I used to play all the time because it was rough. It was rough growing up. It was rough growing up. I'm still living like the projects, or whatever, and I plan on getting out obviously pretty soon, but it sucks because like the people I grew up with, they're dying. It sucks. It just sucks. That's all I can say. Like it really sucks because like everyone is dying. Like what the fuck, like bro. And then you just had memories of them back then. You just had memories of them. Like we used to play the game together, bro. Like, and y'all dead. Like what's going on here? And it's just tough, man. But let's get into the MJ story. If you're still here, click below. Well, I was preparing my story to like interact with the MJ story, but I started going off on the wrong track. But no, it's not the wrong track. I'm still the right track. Basically to say that like nothing truly fills the void of feeling lonely or feeling unfulfilled. Money doesn't solve the problems. How about that? Money doesn't solve the problems. So part 2, MJ full psychoanalysis. Click it below. Well, I said click it below. No, it's on this video, but it's part 2. So I wanted to do it like that. Me as a regular human to make the connection of the celebrity that never had childhood. So I hope to see you there. Part 2 right now. All right. So I'm here at the playground because this is the playground section, and this is the childhood of Micheal Jackson. All right, and you see the playground right there behind me. I'm at the playground, and I came just to test this out, and see if I had any memories of playing on the playground. And of course I have. Like, I have a lot of memories of playing on the playground, and you smell as soon as I got over here. I smell all the time, which there. But I want you to think about it, man. MJ, like in one of his, if you don't know what MJ is, Micheal Jackson, but in one of his interviews, he was explaining that like as he's seeing kids play on the playground outside, enjoy that stuff, he was working in the studio all the time. So he was like, I never got to play on the playground. Like that's where all the fun is at the playground. But in his case, he never played on the playground, bro. I want you to think of that. Being a young person and never playing on the playground. Even if you're in a wheelchair, you can still call him out the playground. But He never played on the playground, and I think that's kind of sad. And I'm dropping little tears now, but hey, I'm sorry. This it sucks. It's sad. It's very sad. And like all his music, he explained like, and if you listen closely to his lyrics, he explained like how he was hurting and all this other stuff. But it was good, so we kind of ignored it. But we're gonna get into that later. So that's one. This is one part of the childhood that he never had, and which he tried to compensate for in his later years. So we're gonna get some more into that. But he never experienced a playground, man. This is just sad. Alright, so I'm in the house now, obviously, because it's too fucking cold outside. But the playground scene for that 1 minute and like some seconds, it was a good reflection. I had some positive. I remember some things, and I'm kind of excited because I didn't have a lot of it, but because I had a seizure and shit, but I had a good time when I was younger, and it sucks that Micheal Jackson, he didn't have a good time when he was younger. So let's get back into it now. So this is what else he said, based on what I just said on the first one. This is the one thing he said. All right, he said my childhood was completely taken away from me, man. Completely taken away from me. He said nothing that he missed. He said nothing that he missed out on Christmas and the typical self pleasure of the youth, you know. But he described his childhood as work. All right, so this is something else NJ said about his childhood. I'm sorry, I had to come out of the house. It was too cold outside. But this is something else. He said, "I'm better prepared this time." But he said, I was. He said, oh, I'm gonna go with this one, number 2. So as I was mentioning earlier, this is the first one about how he recalled looking outside of the studio and watching the kids play. This is the fourth thing what he said now. So he mentioned he recalled looking out of a recording studio at the age of 10. Bro, he's 10 years old, maybe even younger, based on what this says. But he recalled looking out of a recording studio, looking at the park across the street and watching the children play, while he had to work. This man was working as a youngin'. I mean, he became very successful, but at what cost? He said, and I quote, I would say, I am trapped and I have to do this for the rest of my life. And I would cry in my room. He would cry in his room to sleep, bro. Because he didn't have a childhood. Like, this shit is insane. All right, he noted in a 1993 interview that he felt he had to compensate for the childhood that he never known. And part 2, fear and abuse from his father. He described his father Joseph as extremely strict and harsh, stating, I'm scared of my father to this day. My father walked in a room and I had fainted. He fainted, but he passed out because he already knew that he was going to have to work his ass off. I fainted in his presence so many times. And in an interview with Oprah, out of all people, who the hell likes Oprah anyway nowadays? She's an ass. But in his interview with Oprah, he confessed to Oprah Winfrey in 1993. Damn, this nigga is old. but in confessing to Oprah in 1993 that he was so frightened of his father that he would regurgitate. Well, that means vomit for you people that don't know if you don't know what that means. He would vomit when he came to see him. When MJ father came to see him, he would vomit, bro. Like, what the hell? He noted that if he didn't perform well, he feared losing his father's affection. Only reason your dad loves you is because you work and you made him millions of dollars, and the family is great. All right, so this is one that I felt like this is really. Yeah, this shit is harsh. Man, this is just a sad story. I mean, I did the Jeffrey Dahmer story. That was pretty sad. And I did the Khalif Browder story. That was sad as hell because I'm black as well, and that's like everything thing. Especially since I'm studying, and now I see it much more often. But this is his father said, if you guys ever stop singing, I will drop you like a hot potato. And I will drop you like a hot potato. That was just for number 2, fear of abuse from his father. And now let's get into part 3, emotional loneliness and affection. Damn, breath stink. But emotional loneliness and lack of affection by my man is Micheal Jackson, the king of pop, the guy that was fighting to find his own identity, well, fighting to relive his childhood. Okay, but this is the emotional loneliness and lack of affection. MJ, in quotation, when I was a kid, I was denied not only a childhood, but I was denied love. Like, damn. I don't know. My parents fought a lot, but I always knew they loved me. Like, I always knew my dad and my mom's loved me. So I always knew that. So, but I got quotations right here. That's the reason I'm looking over here. But he later explained that when he hugs his father, his father wouldn't hug back. Wouldn't hug him back. When he was scared to go on stage one day, he was just told, "Get your ass on that stage." So he was basically just used for the fame and money. Being at fucking 10, 12 years old, like, and he still chased the love of his parents and of his childhood, even when he was like in his 30s. I don't know when fucking MJ died, but he died. I think, yeah, I don't know when he died. So if he did die in his 30s, that sucks. Let's go back on. So this is what this guy said. I'm going by his quotations or whatever. He said he felt that applause, like from the audience and stage or whatever, was his only shelter. Only shelter being an applause from your audience. Come on, bro. We gotta do better. We gotta do better. All right, let's go on to number 4 now. All right. This was part 4 of why MJ surrounded himself by children. Well, he surrounded himself with children. And as I mentioned earlier, like Neverland was made to fill that void of being around that park with yourself, or having joy and other things, right? But this is what he said. He explained his closeness with children as a way to fill. I just said this as a way to fill the void of his own lost youth. His own lost youth. Excuse me. I had espresso coffee. Saying people, in quotation marks, people wonder why I always have children around. It's because I find the thing that I never had through them. He stated, I wanted to give my wait, what? He stated, I wanted to give my child his childhood. I want to give my child his childhood. I want to give my child back his childhood. I think he means internally, but let's go on. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he means he wants to give the inner child within him his childhood back. But you can't fix the past, which kind of sucks. But you can only move forward and hope to put the past back on tracks that you thought were going to be there. All right, okay. My next bullet point: he expressed a deep sensitivity to the suffering children, stating, I am so sensitive to. Let's reread this. He expressed a deep sensitivity to the suffering of children, stating, I am so sensitive to your pain, and that he wanted his work to help people discover the child within themselves. So I was right before I even finished what his quote was. This is getting very, very sad. You know, this is the value of not having a childhood is really deteriorating, and it's really painful. It just sucks. All right, this is part 5 of this series, right? Others reflections. This is just the other stuff that people pay little attention to, but I've found these, right? Other reflections. So on his childhood song, he considered this one his favorite song because he felt it was his first time he truly said what he never dared to say about his past. On his upbringing in his 2001 Oxford speech, he expressed hope that his children would understand that he did his best with his own upbringing, saying, in quotation marks, if you don't have a memory of love in your childhood, you are doomed to look around. Good damn coffee, boy. You are doomed to look around the world for something to fill that void. As I mentioned through all my videos like this, all my psychology videos, the little YouTube shorts, whatever. If you go back and look at that, I always tell your brain is made up your brain is wired, like it's very wired and it's very smart to feel what you're missing with something, to compensate with something else. Like, for example, my left side, I have left side paralysis, and my left hand is finally my fingers are finally just moving a little bit. So there's a strong chance that might come back in within 5 to 10 years. But yeah, so since my left side is so weak, my right side has gotten 2 times stronger. So your body automatically compensates for what you're missing. And in his case, he tried to. It just wasn't working. But now he's on to his parents. He said despite the trauma, he sometimes expressed complex views, acknowledging his father's role in his success, wishing for more love. He was wishing for more love. He said in quotation marks, "My father was a managerial genius, but what I really wanted was a dad." Like his father probably thought that he was being a dad with all making him very successful and all these other things, right? But he never felt the love, like, and this is like one of the saddest stories I've this has to be the saddest story I've covered so far. Besides the serial killers, this guy wasn't a serial killer. He was just looking for his childhood. But now let's go find some songs that supports everything that he has said. Even in his own, well, I did find a song, and the song is literally called "Childhood," but he might have another song. So let's look for that. All right, this is part 5 of this series, right? Others reflections. This is just the other stuff that people pay little attention to, but I've found these, right? Other reflections. So on his childhood song, he considered this one his favorite song because he felt it was his first time he truly said what he never dared to say about his past. On his upbringing in his 2001 Oxford speech, he expressed hope that his children would understand that he did his best with his own upbringing, saying in quotation marks, if you don't have a memory of love in your childhood, you are doomed to look around. Good damn coffee, boy. You are doomed to look around the world for something to fill that void. As I mentioned through all my videos like this, all my psychology videos, the little YouTube shorts, whatever. If you go back and look at that, I always tell your brain is made up your brain is wired, like it's very wired and it's very smart to feel what you're missing with something, to compensate with something else. Like, for example, my left side, I have left side paralysis, and my left hand is finally just about, my fingers are finally just moving a little bit. So there's a strong chance that might come back in within 5 to 10 years. But yeah, so since my left side is so weak, my right side has gotten 2 times stronger. So your body automatically compensates for what you're missing. And in his case, he tried to. It just wasn't working. But now he's on to his parents. He said despite the trauma, he sometimes expressed complex views, acknowledging his father's role in his success, wishing for more love. He was listening for more love. He said, in quotation marks, my father was a managerial genius, but what I really wanted was a dad. Like his father probably thought that he was being a dad with all making him very successful and all these other things, right? But he never felt the love, like, and this is like one of the saddest stories I've this has to be the saddest story I've covered so far. Besides the serial killers, this guy wasn't a serial killer. He was just looking for his childhood. But now let's go find some songs that supports everything that he has said. Even in his own, well, I did find a song, and the song is literally called "Childhood," but he might have another song. So let's look for that. So this is just some things about "Gone Too Soon" by Micheal Jackson. The song was made in 1991, obviously. So, according to this search right here, because I'm not that deep into psychology, I have my degree, but it's only like the base level associates, whatever. So it says, while not explicitly about his own life, this song, the "Gone Too Soon," while not explicitly about his own life, this track is often associated with the loss of innocence he felt, including his own. So you know what they say, children are typically innocent, but he lost his innocence, meaning that he was never. I guess you can say, when people associate, especially in law school, right? Innocent meaning free, but in his case, he was never free. Now let's look at some lyrics from this. To see what we can spot out. All right, this is just a line from the song, of course, of "Gone Too Soon." Wait, this is not even the right song. Hold up. I'm about to lie to you guys, and that wasn't the right fucking song. All right, here it is. I'm here now. I don't know what the fuck I was tweaking, but here's one line: shiny and sparkly, and splendidly bright. Here one day, and gone one night. Here goes another quote: like a castle built upon a sandy beach. Well, this isn't in there, but I'm pretty sure this is what he means. The water just comes and washes it right away. Okay. I got some more. Like a perfect flower that is just beyond your reach. Born to amuse and inspire to delight. Okay, these metaphors symbolize a childhood that felt fleeting, fragile, and designed for entertainment rather than personal growth. For a more direct reflection of his childhood, the song Childhood Gone Too Soon contains the most explicit references. If you're interested in looking at those lyrics. But it's been my fate to, in quotes, Michael Jackson once said, it's been my fate to compensate for the childhood I've never known. Before this is very sad. But he said, before you judge me, try your hard to love me. Damn, that's a bar. That's a bar. The pain, and then he said, the painful youth I've had. Oh my gosh, I think that's all I can handle for today. This is sad, but there's just some more, and that's the end of the video here. Cause I hope you liked it. I've learned a lot. Yeah, especially I already knew this because it's like my psychology degree or whatever. But you need a childhood. Everyone needs a childhood. That's where most of your development of your adulthood is based on your childhood. And if you look at this story, this story is a great symbol of that. This guy Michael Jackson, he never had a childhood, right? So he did all these things to compensate for having a childhood. Neverland, having an amusement park in his house, having animals that no one should really have, having the money and all the joy in the world that didn't buy him shit. He got all this stuff, and it brought him no pleasure of none of this at the end. But I think the saddest part had to be not knowing or not having a memory of planning on a damn park. Like, but I hope you liked it, and I hope you had a wonderful childhood, and I hope your kids had a wonderful childhood, because you're awesome, you're beautiful, and you're an amazing parent. And I hope to see you soon. Not like that, but I hope you watch the next video. We're gonna try to do these documentaries once a week on Wednesdays. So when you guys are seeing this, it's Wednesday or Tuesday, depending on where you're at. But I hope you enjoy.